If you measured in Bitcoin the gain that what you're making instead of in fiat, what you're making is going to go up in purchasing power forever. So the sats I give today every day on Nostr, which will buy coffees today, will buy cars in the future. Right? That's what it will look like.
Yeah.
And so if you're contributing your time today and you're patient in that time and you're tuned out of this other world, you're going to be extraordinarily benefited from creating value for other people in an area that accrues more value to you because you created more value.
So right here you see Jeff Booth, and what he is sitting here telling you, when you create value, you're going to be rewarded. And he also mentioned what people will spend on a coffee today will buy a car in the future. That is crazy to think about, guys. That's like $5 today. That'll buy a car in the future. How much is a dollar going to devalue? When Jeff Booth speaks, you got to pay attention. With that, what's happening, Crypto Crew? Sean's coming back at you with yet another cryptocurrency video.
Hey guys, sorry for the quick interruption, but if you're interested in trading MicroStrategy options, any other stock out there, Bitcoin, Solana, or any other crypto out there, you can now do that on MooMoo. And if you sign up with our affiliate link, which we pin in the comment section, also in the description below, when you sign up and deposit any amount, you're going to receive up to 20 free stocks, and each one of these stocks could be valued at up to $2,000. So make sure to sign up with MooMoo. Go get that free money. Now let's go ahead and get back to the video.
And to piggyback on that, if you guys want some free stuff, check out our MooMoo link here. It's in the description below. Click the link below to get your 15 free stocks. So you just heard from Jeff Booth, but we have a take from Jack Mahler, and he's talking about your money and how if your money's becoming worthless, then they can make you worth less. Let's check it out from Jack.
If the money can be printed and controlled by whether it's a government, corporation, someone else, they can debase it. They can make it worth less. The more they print of it, the more that they're weakening the actual money itself, right? And another way to think about all this, given all this context, is if a government can print money, they're printing time and energy, right? You had to work really hard for your money. They didn't have to work at all. And when a government can print currency and debase the currency and make the currency weaker, by proxy, my main point is they're making you weaker, right? Because if your money is a reflection of all your life's work and they're able to make your money worth less, they're able to make you worth less and your life worth less. You get less housing, less gas, less clothes, less vacations, less education. You're going to be able to afford to have less children, less family. So by them making, it's one thing to say, yeah, my government's been printing a lot of money, but they said it's because of war. They're making you worth less. Okay. So the objective, if you're a human that understands this, is how can I own something that no one can debase? Effectively, I want to contribute to this world, and I don't want anyone to take that value away from me. I don't want anyone to make me worth less. I want to make sure that the work I put into this world and the value I contribute to people around me, I want to make sure that I can get the same amount of housing and the same amount of clothes and the same amount of education. And if I want to have 10 kids, I can finance my ability to have 10 kids. And to me, that's what Bitcoin solves for. And we can get into the proof of work and all of the nuances involved in that. But from the highest level possible, Bitcoin's the only monetary unit in the history of our species that is literally fixed, finite. You cannot make more of it. If we wanted to find more gold, we can. If McDonald's wanted to make 8 billion cheeseburgers for everyone in the world, they can. If Apple wanted to make 8 billion iPhones for everyone in the world, they can. With more demand comes more supply. And so the really difficult thing as humans is how can we engineer something that is fixed, finite? You can't make any more. And if we're able to do so, the main use case for it is making it money.
There you have it from Jack Mahler. Getting straight into the Bitcoin price chart at the current time of this recording. What do we see? What do we anticipate? So Bitcoin, the level to pay attention to is right here. This level around the $106,000 threshold. Every time Bitcoin has came up and hit its head multiple times, various times over the past couple weeks, just keeps hitting its head and it cannot get above it. So it's only going to do one of two things. Bitcoin's either going to have a fall down, or you know what they say, when you keep knocking on the door, eventually it opens. We'll get up above it, get some candle closes. Might not be right away. We could get a back test of this $106,000 threshold before having that continuation to the upside and seeing higher price action. Remember, we're in a bull market, so it's a higher probable chance that we'll go to the upside versus a massive drawdown. We've already had a drawdown from the previous peak, and that drawdown has been from 108 all the way down to $89,000. It's almost a 17.5% drawdown. Could we get a bigger drawdown? Yes, it's a possibility. We've seen bigger in bull cycles before, so don't discount that either. But pay attention to this level. MicroStrategy coming in at 337, the current time of this recording. What do we see? What do we anticipate? So MicroStrategy, we showed you this in previous video. It seems like we could be in the midst of forming that right shoulder. So if we come back up to this trend line, remember the trend's your friend to the end, we can pull this technical target to see where this inverse head and shoulders will be breaking out from, and we will see this coming up to back up over $500 per share, around $515, close to previous all-time highs. So is that what we see from MicroStrategy? We'll see as February progresses. This is the last day in January. We just have to see. Right now, this looks like it could be an inverse head and shoulder pattern that is playing out. Here's the one shoulder, head, second shoulder, neckline is in a downtrend. So once you break this downtrend, you could come flip through resistance to support and have a continuation to the upside. Then another level to pay attention to is around the $440 range. But without further ado, let's hear more from Jeff Booth and how he's telling you that the transition to Bitcoin is happening now.
Because most people don't understand that this is happening.
Yeah.
Right? It not might be happening. This is happening right now. And so people ask, when does this happen? Well, it's happening. Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're in Bitcoin for any 4-year cycle, you know that all prices fall. Right? Your representation of what you think is happening might be, because you're still living in Bitcoin in the other system, you might think it's rising faster than your other prices, right?
Yeah.
And if you didn't have Bitcoin, you're getting destroyed by the same system. You're losing money, right? So let's say so that means there's a whole bunch of people with varying different degrees of understanding, and all are correct to their view. Right? But Bitcoin doesn't care about any of the views, right? It's just a decentralized secure protocol bounded by energy, and it's imposing new rules that you don't have to play by the rules if you don't want. You can try to stop it. You can choose not to play, but it's imposing new rules. So let's use your example and say the natural state of the free market is deflation, right? We know that because we only use the things that give us more value. And let's use two different companies today. One company says, don't worry, I'm going to keep your jobs. I'm going to keep paying you X. And for the purposes of this, let's do it in Bitcoin terms, because so it's not as complicated. So I'm going to pay you 1 Bitcoin a year. What that'll mean is their competitor, which is negotiating the salaries to make sure that they're in line to value, will have an increasing, negotiating down salaries, right? We'll have an increasing performance gap against that company, and that company will fail because you won't use the company.